Greetings, this is Stan Houston from the Jesus Entrepreneur Experience. I'm glad you could join us. I'm very glad. I just discovered that I'm still cancer-free after 18 months, and things are looking good, and I'm grateful. Truly, without the help of Dr. Jenny and Jesus, I probably wouldn't be here. But it was a good exam, it went well, and it looks like I have years ahead of me by God's good grace. And that means I can continue to do what I want to do, which is to help build the Christian Entrepreneur Network, and in many cases work with young men and women who I'm counseling in this way. Don't look for a job. Don't look even for a career. Discover perhaps what God is calling you to be and to do, and think of yourself as an entrepreneur. Then find a job, find something to do that really matters, and then do that. And use that as a way of learning about yourself, about what God has called you to be and to do, and then perhaps make that step to truly be a creator of your own destiny, a entrepreneur, a Jesus entrepreneur. And so I'm grateful that I get to do that, and that means that I get to talk to young men and women just like Jake, who I am counseling and working with and helping them do that good work. So, if you'll join me for the program today, so will Jake, and we'll hear his story about being an entrepreneur and perhaps even being a redemptive entrepreneur. Let's listen to the story. Let's listen to the program. It starts right now. Well, as promised, my name is Stan Houston, and I have the opportunity on this little program to bring people who are sometimes smarter than me, certainly better looking than me, sometimes younger than me, and this is the case with all three right now. Jake, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Stan. You're too kind.
Well, one of the things I appreciate is, and I'm just going to say this to people, is, Jake, I have never met in person. But that's the magic of the Internet, or sometimes the curse of the Internet. We met through mutual friends, and our contact has grown through the Internet, through conversations. And I found out that as kind of an old guy, it's really good to have some young guys around who understand this stuff better than I do. So as we launched the Christian Entrepreneur Network, Jake was there with a lot of help, guidance, and counsel. And so I've invited him on the program today because he is a true entrepreneur in many ways. So Jake, introduce yourself and tell a little bit of your story.
Thanks, Stan. As you said, my name is Jacob Kinsey, and I live in Champaign, Illinois, good old Midwest. I have been in the broadcast industry for a number of years on the manufacturer side of things. I'm interested in new technology and video and everything to do with video streaming. So in my 9-to-5 job, I work as a sales representative for Cobalt Digital. And then on the side, I also have an entrepreneurial pursuit of a company called TeamStream Live that deals with sending video and audio over the air and then allowing people to produce live events without having to actually be in the same location. So I have gotten involved in the community a little bit in promoting Christian entrepreneurship, or something that's called redemptive entrepreneurship. And through that, I've also been meeting with Stan and kind of talking through some thoughts.
Well, that's right. And there's a number of reasons why. First of all is Jake is taking the ideas seriously. First of all, you may start your career and find out what the corporations are like and find out how that fits you, suits you. And then perhaps what you do is you try side streams and see what that might do and how that fits you, and see where you can explore. And it is an entrepreneurial economy, and it's going to go and grow. So Jake, is younger than me by far, but he's got himself a career, but he's also got himself a stream that may lead him into entrepreneurial pursuits. He may even be a serial entrepreneur. And so we'll see where that goes. And I'll be eager to see this new product because that is, broadcasting has been since I was a small child. And now I'm far from small child, but I'm returning to my childhood pursuits of loving broadcasting. But I don't have to work from a 500-foot tower and a 50,000-watt transmitter anymore. You can do it right here with some pretty simple stuff. Hey, now you and I have both known that when it comes to entrepreneurialism, part of being a good entrepreneur is knowing how to think and how to take your thinking and your Christian testimony and starting to put it together. And both of us have encountered an organization which you can give me a little bit of information about. It's called Praxis. Is that correct?
Yeah, Praxis.
And what are they and what are they about? Because we're trying to find out all we can about the entrepreneurial community out there, particularly the Christian entrepreneur.
So Praxis is a business incubator, I would have to say, a Christian-based business incubator in New York. And they're one of the premier organizations that help find and young Christian businesses that have this edge of redemptive entrepreneurship within their business model and help them to grow into successful, vibrant companies that have both successful bottom line and are able to produce some kind of change in the community, to have some kind of restoration in the community.
Restoration in the community. Tell me, what does that mean? What are they talking about?
Yeah, so the gospel is all about restorative, taking what is broken and restoring it to what it was meant to be. And so we see that played out in the Bible, and just as we have that as a model, we have to go out and actually perform and actually do. And so the Praxis has about 6 different steps or guides that they put out. So one is we create. So we're all kind of meant to create. God created us and has imbibed us with his creative power and energy. And so when we're out there creating original content, it serves a purpose in our life.
Yes.
But then we create from love. So it's not just that we're out there creating for our own good, but we create because we love, and we love those around us, and we want to see their lives better. Which leads us to restoration. So if we're creating and we're loving people, naturally the consequence of that will be to take something that is potentially broken in a certain industry and make it better, to add value to your customer so that there's some good coming out of that.
Okay. So it's a concept of fixing things. One of my favorite words. As I think I may have shared with some of the people at some time, is I learned from a woman in Finland who was reading her Finnish Bible to me during a Bible study, and she said, "Stan, you know that word for carpenter that you use in the study? Well, actually, in Finnish, the word is more like a handyman, a fixer." And that has stuck with me. Maybe Jesus exactly was that, more of a restorer, as a fixer, not only in his obviously salvation work, but in his carpentry work.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
How else does it continue? Does it have anything else that they want to put to it, or how are they helping people incubate even more?
Yeah, so through these studies that they've put out, that I went through with a group of like-minded entrepreneurs here in Champaign, they recommend that you to actually test what you learn in the study in the marketplace. And so, and even as you in your entrepreneurial endeavor, think over, well, how am I loving people? How am I loving my customer? And how is this providing restoration in my chosen field? And so, for TeamStream Live, for example, I think of the social media empire and how there's so much bad information out there or even negative information. And, something that I could do potentially through this entrepreneurial endeavor is provide the tool for free to those looking to tell stories about uplifting or powerful things within their communities or things that are actually they want to highlight in a positive way.
That rhymes so well. St. Paul's kind of one of our heroes here at the Christian Entrepreneur Network, as we believe he really was an entrepreneur. And Philippians is kind of our guide, and chapter 4 is that wonderful chapter where it says, fill your mind with good things. And how key and how vital that is, and part of our cultural, I think even civilizational problem today is look at the stuff we are putting in our minds. My goodness.
Absolutely. So I think that there's a lot of areas that we can see restoration. It doesn't just have to be for pastors in a city trying to make revival. It could be for business people as well. We have a great platform by using finance and business models in order to go out and provide restoration economically for people in a given area. And as Christians, we should be leading that fight.
Respond to this. Yeah, you're a younger man. I'm older, a little older school. But I had someone your age say this to me. He said, Stan, they don't go to church, but they go to the marketplace. And that's where we're going to have to connect. What do you think about that?
Well, it's true. Is the more that we are in this connected, quote unquote, society where people experience community through these social networks, it's harder and harder to actually meet somebody face to face and have a real connection. And when people spend most of their time is from 9 to 5 or even more these days, as we become more of a work culture, is in the office place. And so if you're a manager or owner of a business, you have a lot of impact on the life of your staff or other employees.
I can tell you from my own experience as a business coach is that some of my better clients and best clients who were deeply committed to their faith, they were not in anybody's face about it. That's neither appropriate nor probably legal today, but the impact that a walking man or woman of faith can have, particularly on some of their younger colleagues, can be exceptional. I mean, really exceptional. So, could be. By the way, can I ask a question? Because you did share a little bit of the praxis thing with me. I noticed, and this would be kind of an interesting way to kind of wind it up, you said about the screen, is one of their commitments is to reduce the amount of screen time. Asking people to get offline, get off the machines, get off the screens. Is that part of their emphasis? It sounds like a good idea to me.
Yeah, perhaps it would be a good idea. I don't know if that's part of their emphasis, but they definitely encourage people to go out and meet together and go through the course material. And I know for our group, it's been really beneficial, and it's sparked a lot of conversations, and we're continuing the conversation to how can we restore our local area and community.
I like that a lot. You've heard the expression, was it think globally and act locally? And that's an old environmental slogan. But what people don't realize that actually did not begin with the environmental movement. That was a Christian slogan of a group of people in France who became very much involved in local biblical work. And a man named Jacques Ellul said, think globally, but act locally. And that was about the faith. Do it right there. So, Jake, thank you so much. We're going to have you back. I appreciate this. It's the group is called Praxis. Is that right?
Yep, Praxis, Praxis.
And I imagine a simple Google will probably get you there and find out more about them. Thank you, Jake. This has been helpful and useful. And, as we say it, just 10 minutes of clarity sometimes makes things a little clearer now. So what is clearer to us now? Jake, thank you for your time. All the best and blessings to you. We welcome you back, and I particularly am eager to hear more about this project. It seemingly is not only something the marketplace could use profoundly, and that's important, but it looks like it may actually have something redemptive about the whole thing, too. And that would be good.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Jake. All the best. And you've been listening to the Jesus Entrepreneur Experience, and we do wish you all the best and blessings, too. And now it's time for you to join us on the Jesus Entrepreneur Experience through the great good work of an organization called Ringer. There's software that can make our conversation come alive. It'll sound great. It'll be just like we're talking to one another in the next room. None of that Skype sound, none of that phone sound. It's put together by the good folks at Ringer who help make this program possible. And we can provide that for you so you, like Jake, can tell your story. Tell the world, tell your friends, tell even one important person what God is doing in your life, how you are becoming an entrepreneur, and then share some of the wisdom, insight, and truth that you're learning about the bigger picture of God's work in the world, what you're called to do in the world, and how you will do that as a Christian entrepreneur. That's what we're all about. Please let me know how I can help you. RadioEdge77@gmail.com. RadioEdge77@gmail.com. Till next time, all the best and blessings, and of course, bye for now.